Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh and this is Working Man Reads. If you like the content today, please be sure to subscribe, like it, share it, whatever you want to do, because I'm getting close to the 1K mark and it would be greatly appreciated. So today I'm going to be talking about a couple stories from 20th century ghosts. I always want to say 20th century Fox because I'm a millennial and that's what I seen every time a movie fired up. But I have made it 50% of the way through. Now when I read short story collections, I give each individual story a star rating, which is also, not important anyways. But I only really like two that I gave 5 stars, one of which is The Black Phone. And I was pretty hyped to read this story collection by Joe Hill because of the new adaptation coming out, The Black Phone. And I do have to say the horror that they are portraying, at least in the trailers for that film, is very effective because my daughter, so the commercials are coming up on TV, and my daughter seen the ad for that, and then apparently at some point, and then we were walking through Target yesterday and she seen the guy's face. And if you don't know, he's got that mask, and he's like, hang up the phone! You know what I'm saying? A little intense. Sorry, I'm going to tone it down. But you know what I'm talking about. And so she's like, it's that phone guy. So it is scary right off the bat, at least to a 3-year-old. So I had to tell her it's not real. It's not a real thing. I'm not on fire. I just have tea. So yes. So what did I think about the short story? Now, I do have to say, I think Joe Hill... Now, we all know Nosferatu is a fantastic book. But I just have this feeling like he is a very effective short story writer. A lot of the stories in this collection, 20th Century Ghosts, there's a lot of bizarre elements to the stories. And The Black Phone is no different. You have a little bit of supernatural in the story, but I really think he was trying to tap into the horror that his father really struck gold on with it. And before you get crazy and jump down my throat if you read it, this is where I'm going with that, is instead of, you get a little bit of a coming of age, you got a small town where some kids are going missing, and instead of it being a supernatural being, we have a real person who is mentally ill that is taking these children. Now, this young man is locked in a basement, and all that there is a phone. And I'm going to leave the rest of the story up to you to read. But the review side of things says, from me, is that I felt that it was very effective because we all worry about children being abducted. It was a very well executed short story. And like I said, Joe Hill's prose really lends itself to the short fiction. I also like his graphic novels, so, which we all know that. I think that this will probably be a pretty good adaptation, and I think quite a few of the other stories could have been adaptations as well. I think he's kind of followed his father coattails a little bit with the story, not coattails because he uses a different name, but he has inherited that natural ability to tell a story that Stephen King, whether or not you like his writing, whether or not you think that he is the greatest of all time or whatever, I personally am a big Stephen King fan. Joe Hill has 100% inherited that knack for delivering well effective horror. And the phone that the Black Phone is fantastic for a short story. I gave that one 5 stars. Now, the second story I gave in this collection was 20th Century Ghosts, which is actually the name of the collection. I wonder if Joe Hill thought that this was his best story. And personally, I think it has more substance to it than The Black Phone, but obviously right now that is very relevant with the fact that there is an adaptation coming out. But 20th Century Ghosts was absolutely breathtaking in the fact that it is not an in-your-face horror story. As long as I'm not mixing up stories, because I read 50% of the book today. But I believe this one was about a movie theater. okay? And it's a struggling movie theater, and it is haunted by, apologize, I got a phone call, but 20th Century Ghost is about a young man who goes to a struggling cinema, and he basically sits down to watch a movie, and a ghost sits next to him. And this experience changes this young man's life. And the rest of the story, I'm going to leave up to you because, again, these are short pieces of fiction. But I really thought that Joe Hill was effective in his portrayal of this young man and how it changed his life. And he almost became obsessed with this spirit that is in the cinema. And I'll leave it up to you after that. But those two stories are by far my favorite two in the collection, at least the 50% mark where I'm at today. Tomorrow I will finish the remainder of the collection. But have you read 20th Century Ghosts by Joe Hill? Or have you read the new film adaptation, mass market and trade paperback that they have released for the Black Phone? I don't know if they repurpose some of the short stories from 20th Century Ghosts, or if they're all new fiction from Joe Hill, but absolutely brilliant. There were some stories that I like 1-starred and 2-starred. There was a little bit of a lull. So he starts out real fast and heavy with a couple good ones. I think I went like 5 stars, 4 stars, 3, and then it goes like 1, 2, 1, and then 5, or like 3, 4, 5. So he's got them mixed. In my personal opinion, there's some good ones and some bad ones. So I don't know that this collection is going to be like something I recommend to everyone, or that's going to make some top list from me. But the Black Phone, very effective. 20th Century Ghosts, very effective horror. I hope to see you guys soon. And until next time, this has been Working Man Reads. Don't work too hard.